I gotta move. I can't take this no more. And I would forget to grab fuel for my heater. It's unbelievable. Come with a classic, they come around your slave and say it's a sleeper. The ears are real, the petty is real. I jump like it's my feature. Deposit the money to Brenda Letitia, or Linda Felicia. She gave me twice, I didn't even know. What's up? Yeah, I'm freezing. You know who it is? It's your boy, Backyard Boogie, the real backyard again. Cadillac Jack, but you knew that. Tipping on 3 when you see me. And in this video, I think you just want to learn how to build adjustable upper control arms. Probably can't see it in the video, but I got one on right there on my caddy. But before I get into that, make sure you like, subscribe, follow my social medias down here below, and let's get to it. So I'll be getting a little bit, not a lot, but a fair amount. So I'm gonna show you how to do this. Of comments and DMs on how did I build my adjustables for my caddy, and it wasn't too hard. You need some simple things, some tubing. This is a little cut off I had. A turnbuckle. This part is like the housing right here, the circle part. This piece right here, the adjustable turnbuckle, that's what you need. You can find that on Black Magic. BlackMagicHydraulics.com. I think Hoppos may have it. Hydro Joe's maybe, CC. I don't know, but I know Black Magic definitely has it. And not a necessity, but you can definitely use it. You can put a housing on it if you want. I put an adjustable Heim on there. So not only does this adjust in and out, but the Heim also. I don't want to lose that. You see that? So I can adjust that out. I'm probably going to use that for more so fine adjustments. I'm going to get this set, and then like if I need like a little bit, use that for fine adjustment. And this thing. Probably sound dumb, but I don't know what it's really called. I think it's, I don't know. Don't give me no eye, but you need it. So I'm not going to show y'all how to do it. I'm really going to describe the process because it's not too hard. But the videos of me actually making them are on my Instagram at tippin-on3, TIPPINONTHREE, tippin-on3 when you see me. So it wasn't too hard. All I did was I got my measurements of what I think I might need. You know what I mean? It's all trial and error. You know what I mean? Definitely trial by fire. It's never to me. It's never 100% set. It's probably gonna be different when you go to test it and all that, and depending on what you need and what you want. But I ended up getting an initial measurement. So my measurement was like 20 from the frame to my ear was like 21 inches or something like that. So what I did was from the center of this hole, the center of this hole needed to be about 21 inches. As you see in my arm, I have it like opened already. I did that because I didn't want to build them closed, and you don't really want to do that because you never know if you're going to have to suck them back in and lower the pinion on the rear end. So you want to have some play, either you can open it or close it. So, but I built mine open. I actually built mine that the rear end, the pinion is high. So my pinion is like this. That's how I built it. So I know I have to close mine. So I got some play in there to come back and forward. You know what I mean? So what I did was I got me some tubing from my local metal shop. So this is not DOM tubing. This is just regular standard piping tubing, whatever you want to call it. And the only difference for real between DOM and this is that this has a seam. So this is like welded together or something like that. And on the inside, it's a seam. It might go out of focus. So I don't know if it's going to show you. Right there. You see that right there? Focus. There's a line right here. Right there. There's a line. That's a seam. But I mentioned that because when I put my Heim inside of there, that seam comes out a little bit that it doesn't necessarily allow me to center that Heim inside of here. So it pushes it off to one side a little bit. It's not nothing crazy. It's not nothing that couldn't fit or anything. It just caused somewhat of a problem, kind of, sort of. You know what I mean? I mean, not really. I could have dealt with it, but I wanted all my stuff to be nice, square, center, and whatnot. So what I actually did was I forgot I had burrs. Let me grab those real quick. I forgot to pull those out. These are what you call burrs. This is just a casing. I'll show you what the burr is. It's basically like a grinding wheel for a drill, kind of, I guess. There's all different shapes, sizes, forms, and it has rigid edges on it. Let's see, maybe it'll focus. Maybe not. Let me get out the camera. Maybe it'll focus. See, it has rigid edges on it. And it allowed me to grind up that seam. I put it on the drill, put it in there, went around it in a circle like this, a little bit to try to, something like that. A little back and forth motion like this. But sorry, you can't see. A little back and forth motion like that. Try to grind that seam out. That way I can get it nice, flat, for when I put that heim in there. That allowed me to actually set the heim as close to being like in the middle center. You know what I mean? I was basically splitting hairs with that on that in that tubing. After that, I had took this heim, not the heim, I'm sorry. I took this adjustable turnbuckle here, and they don't come with the housings on them. This one was an old one I had, and I'm glad I actually had it laying around so I can show y'all. It comes just as is, just like that. It comes like that. I cut part of it off as much as I thought I would need. Maybe I probably left like that much inside of it, and I took that, and I probably left a 1/4 inch gap. Well, this one don't fit, but the other one did. Nonetheless, I put it inside of the tubing like that, and left probably a 1/4 inch gap or so, like that. Have enough to stick out. That way, I can basically weld the seam or whatever. Weld it inside of the tubing. I got some other comments on there. People say I should have drilled a hole through there, and I forget what you call that, spot welding or something. That's a good idea also, but actually do not foresee these really breaking. Even though I did use a Harbor Freight welder, and people knock those all the time, but if you use the Harbor Freight 125 that cannot weld thick metal like that, then yeah, it's a problem. But I have the Harbor Freight 170, which is the 220 welder, and that thing will really melt some metal, especially for what I'm doing. I'm not welding nothing crazy like the big dogs. Everybody loves to talk about Harbor Freight. Like, if you got Snap-on or Lincoln or Miller, oh, wow, big whoopity do. Good for you, bro. Harbor Freight can weld just as great as that. Only thing that's different is you have longer weld time, I guess. I forget the actual name of it. Work duty time. What do I care for? I do not care. I'm not welding continuous straight paths or whatever welds for 8 hours a day. I'm welding a little bit of stuff here and there. I do not need that. And my welds aren't breaking. I couldn't break one if I want to. And you see this car has hydraulics. Do you know how much pressure goes into hydraulics? That's a lot of pressure with hydraulic fluid. They're not breaking. Just stop knocking Harbor Freight welders. Harbor Freight, pay me. So that's what I did. I put that inside of there and I welded it around. I couldn't really think of it, but try to put something on the threads or something, or maybe take it off or something. I don't know. Try to help these threads or put something inside of here for these threads so you don't get little splatter inside of that. Kind of damage your threads. Kind of did it to one, but it ended up threatening itself back, so it worked out. And I did that for both sides. So both sides have that turnbuckle inside of them. This side obviously has that heim right there, as I discussed before with that seam. Grind that out, do the same exact thing. Put that inside of there, weld it. That can be flush, weld it, and go. This was just like the mount, whatever that goes in the rear end. This goes on the ear, over the ear. Try to line that up the best you can. Try to get it nice and centered. Mine's decent, I guess. Like, it'll work. It's probably a little off center, but it worked enough. Weld that on there. Go. Before you do any welding, like full welding, make sure you tack it on there. Test it. Make sure it's what you want, what you need. Just go from there. Trying to think if there's anything else I really did. It's not much of a complex process. It's more so just measuring and all that. Actually, I think this. So this whole piece for without the heim and without the mount, the arm mount, where you bolt it in. you have to subtract a lot. There's a lot of addition and subtraction. So to get to 21, I think this stuck out 3 inches, and then from this end to this end or something was no. I think I just went from the ear. I just went from the ear up. But the mount that stuck off to mount this onto the frame stuck off 3 inches. So I had to factor that in. So you have to factor in this. You have to factor in the distance between here. You got to factor in all this. And you have to factor in if you open it up. So I opened mine up quarter, no, inch and a quarter, both sides. Now what takes it to 2.5 inches. That's an inch and a quarter from this nut, right? So when you open an inch and a quarter from the edge of this nut to the edge of this, that's an inch and a quarter, inch and a quarter. You got to factor this in, the width of this. That's like a 1/2 inch, and then I think this is a half. No, this is an inch. This nut's an inch that actually allows you to spin it. Ugh, I can't talk. And then this was a 1/2 inch, a 1/2 inch. So that's 2 inches you have right there. So you have to factor that number in there. So technically, the whole thing from this end to this end was what 4.5 inches open. So you have to factor that number in there, and that's basically that. It's just I don't know. I'm not a very good explainer. Trying to explain this. If you have more questions, I guess hit me up on my Instagram or hit me up in the comments. YouTube. I don't know if YouTube has DMs anymore. I'm not a big YouTube user, but I have to learn, I have to try, especially for the car and content. It's like I said, it's not that hard of a process. It's just definitely tedious, and you kind of have to be semi decent at math and know what you're doing. But like I said, it's not hard. Don't let that discourage you. I'm just good at math sometimes. But when it comes to building stuff, I'll be screwing math up. But when it comes to other crazy math like proportions, I'm A1. But if I could do it, you all can do it. I'm new to low riding. I've never done none of this stuff before. I'm good with building with my hands, but this is a whole different ball game for me. Wiring up hydraulics, welding, all that stuff. So like I said, if I can do it, I know you guys can do it. Don't let nothing discourage you. Don't let people tell you you can't do it because you can. Anybody can do anything they put their mind to. It's about how you want to do it. You know what I mean? Your builds, they're going to be how you want to build them. Don't let nobody tell you, yo, you can't build it that way because you can't. You can build anything you want as long as it works and it's within reason. I think actually on that tubing, I had one side longer than the other just because, I don't know, I did that. It don't got to be equal. Just, I don't know. It's my build. It works. Just did a lot of studying before I did it. Like when I say studying, that means watching people's cars on Instagram and actually like screen recording their cars and zooming in so I can see what's going on and maybe see something different. Actually, I think I have a mount out. I'm gonna show you guys the mount I built for that also. I don't want to slip, but that'd be good content. Here's the mount I built. Yep, that mounts onto the frame as such, and because the frame, the angle of the arm on the rear end is not straight, obviously, it's at an angle. I built that to match. Flat on the frame, but comes off at an angle to match the angle coming off the rear end. Before I weld it onto the frame, I'll have a 3/16" steel plate. I got that from the homie, little advice. I'll weld that on to the frame first to kind of reinforce the frame, and then I'll weld that mount onto that reinforcement. That way it kind of strengthens that frame up because frames are pretty thin. There's not really much to them. Sorry, I keep looking now, making sure my mic's on. I'm new to this mic stuff. But other than that, if you actually want to see me build it, go and check out my Instagram. I have 3 videos on there. Sorry. Or 2. I definitely have at least 2. I got build part 1, build part 2, and I think I have build part 3 on there. But you can actually see me do it step by step. It's a little fast paced video. Like I fast forward everything and show little snippets of it. But if you kind of get the snippets, you'll see every part. I just didn't show you every part in full. And you'll see how I did what I did. All these parts, like I said, you can get on blackmagichydraulics.com. You get the metal from your local metal store. And that's it. That's all you really need. You really don't need nothing. Nothing crazy. So there's that. I think that's it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow. I appreciate all the follows. I appreciate all the comments. They definitely don't go unnoticed. I try to respond to as many as I can. I try to get back to everybody as much as I can. Don't be afraid to hit me up. I'm not one of them weirdos like that think I'm famous or something or above anybody. I answer everybody unless you ask me something crazy or stupid. And I probably still answer you, but I'll probably be like, "What are you doing?" Like, but definitely you can hit me up. I'll answer any questions that you have. Try to help people in this Lowrider game because uh, I'm getting help now, not from my hometown help, but I'm definitely getting help outside of here from homies, West Coast, Southwest. So that's where the heart's at. Other than that, y'all be safe. Thanks for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share, follow my socials, and I'll be back for another one. Peace.